434. 434. That's magic numbers when the first number repeats after the second number. I give it a couple minutes for other people to join in. But while I'm waiting for them, I'm going to talk about something. So I'm not sitting here, you know, for some, because a lot of people do watch the rerun, not the live stream. So I make sure I talk from the beginning of my video. How you doing, Huli? I just watched that video over a few times, the remote viewing people, and really, there's some things they say that I think would even, if people up there in Yellowstone would take attention to some of the things they were saying in that video. Let me tell my other friend I am not chatting right now. I'm streaming. I'm streaming. I'm streaming. 8 a.m. Bro, joining in the room. So where are we? Yeah, because I'm trying to stream and bing, bing, bing. It's hard to stay on track when you're getting all these railroad torpedoes. Yeah, I was chatting about Lou and Ron and Puppet Forrest with the Puppet Lou and Puppet Ron. You know, I mean, those guys, they all live so close together that you know, you can bring the puppets over and they can operate their own puppets. You know, and because those puppets weren't cheap for him to have. He paid somebody to have them made, and you know, and they were custom made to look like Lou and Ron and Forrest. It's really good. He needs a miniature belt buckle for the Forrest puppet. And speaking of belt buckles, I noticed there was one. There's a picture where he's jumping across the tree in Too Far to Walk. I think it's near the end. There, no. There's with the axe going up the tree. But if you look at the belt buckle in that sketch, it's the Colorado Sea with the sun in the middle of it. He's got basically a Colorado belt buckle on that picture. What chapter is it? Anybody know what page that is? I don't know the book by heart. What pages? Except for page 105 of Once Upon a While. That's him getting pulled out. There he is. This one here. Look at his belt buckle. Oh, I gotta go way down here to see what I'm doing. Oh, look underneath. Oh, there. See his belt buckle? There's the Colorado Sea. It might be backwards because of the reverse camera on the phone. But there's a sea and, you know, a couple of belt loops, I guess. But there are figures inside this rock here, too. See, there's somebody, see, that's a head and the shoulder, here an arm. But you might see the elephant trunk there. But there's another person here. There's figures inside these rocks. But I was going to talk about the the Farsight video. Okay. I'm thinking the flip side. What did I title the video here? So, yeah, I titled it right. Because far side, flip side, and all that, sometimes you get those kind of things crossed up. But the FarsightPress remote viewing video, and so I watched a few, and then I took notes when I went through it because the couple of the girls were really good at it. But they started there was like 4 girls, and they each one did a thing on the location of the treasure, and then they did one. The second round, they covered where warm waters halt, and for the location of the treasure, they were getting, mountains, mountain with structures. Well, that's these ancient ruins, or the rock carvings might be considered structures, but they're ancient structures, and the gray rocks, rocky, and structures shaped like things. She said structures shaped like things. That's the rock formation. They're shaped like things. She didn't spend enough time to see what they were shaped like, but they were shaped like things. Something's odd here, out of place. And that was that first girl on the location. And then this second girl was the one great. The thing she came up was these look like tribal people, or they're almost naked, or don't have much for clothes and stuff. So that's kind of scant clothing, and ties to my prehistoric friends in Too Far to Walk, and I think that's one of the early chapters in there. Is the my prehistoric friends. So yeah, they're in here somewhere. Yeah, this is chapter 6. My prehistoric, the almost naked people. That's I see because she's seeing the people in the past that's their spiritual canyon, felt their presence or whatever, because those people, that's a psychic ability. What else? I just saw something in here that triggered a thought. Okay. There's a guy climbing out the window at the dude. Forrest might know somebody found something behind the dude. Somebody found something behind the dude that was Forrest fans. Tribals. Yeah. So the site, and I'm still on the location part of it. The third girl. She was the one the one that you could see where cleavage halts there, but thank you for that little. If you've seen the video, you know what I'm talking about. Too many. Oh, it said there are too many clouds. Like right now, you probably hear some outside noise going on here. Partly it's a wind generator, but it's raining too. Again, there's a blue hole in the sky, but there's more gray clouds right behind it. And yeah, you got 8-mile-an-hour wind. But she was saying there were too many clouds. Well, yeah, it rains. I came up here Wednesday, and and I went and searched on Thursday, and it's rained Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So when you're going out to do your weekend of treasure hunting, plan on the weather getting in the way. That's why a lot of these, two or three of the girls were saying there's lots of clouds. Clouds. I don't know if it's just clouds or smoke, but there's a lot of clouds. There's a lot of. It's the clouds. I guarantee you. It's a rain. I know it's wet. How do you know it's wet? Because it rains a whole lot there. It's about every day. And so we're still on the first part, the location of the box, and so that the third girl, and then she drew a picture of my pyramid that I found, this pyramid over at my other camp area, and she described stuff over there too. Well, one of the other girls mentioned Pride Rock from the Lion King. It looks like Pride Rock. Well, Sean knows what my rocks look like. They look like Pride Rock in the Lion King, over where the Mammoth Parade is, and a lot of these rock formations are like that. They're domes of rock, And one saw she drew this, it was like a big arch, like a narrow St. Louis arch shape, This rock is curved, and the mammoth shapes, the omegas are shaped that way too, So the fourth girl, she was really good at it. I looked at her, Camilla Dunson. She got a whole lot of that stuff. It's like I know what she's talking. I know what that is, and that is, but she said there was natural and man-made, man-made stuff there on the land. The land was natural and man-made. These rocks are sculpted by ancient Americans. That's man-made, but it's not recognized as anything yet. The Forest Service says, "Oh, it's just your imagination," But she also said there were lots of clouds or smoke, and it was hard to breathe, high altitude, So there's lots of things she's getting right and stuff, and she said there were subjects in the structures, and I think that's and she sensed that there was a cave or something. It was dark in there. That's why you need your flashlight. And she said it was hard man-made structures. Okay, that'd be rock, concrete. Hard man-made structures would be rock or concrete and stuff. She mentioned Pride Rock, and since this stuff is up, and it goes another many miles. I'm not sure exactly where it ends. I'm pretty sure it ends up here, but it could go further down to my other camp area too. So I may as well look around down there too when I'm down there, and that's what I do. I instead of driving up here, I explore down there. And she felt a lot of energy coming from below or something. Well, is one of the things that might tie to Yellowstone, the volcano and the energy from the volcano and the steam and that stuff. And also there's a ancient caldera here that it hadn't erupted for 75 million years, Yellowstone's erupted 700,000 years ago or whatever. But this other, that's 10 times 75 million years. That's more than 10 times. That's way back there. So, there's a lot of energy, and she said there's a heat. There was hot and cold. Like some of the rocks are cold, but there's hot involved too. So that would explain it's have something to volcanic stuff in the area, and any place that you have hot springs there's volcanic stuff in the ground. The ground is hot from the molten stuff that's down there. Just some places are more explosive than others. I wonder when the last eruption, if anything, in Colorado was, but we know Mount Blanca. I mean, sand dunes came out of nowhere. Where'd they come from? Maybe the earth spit all that sand out. Heat and caldera. Yeah, and she said there were football shaped. That's the other area I explore is all these hump rocks, football shaped, elephant kind of football shaped, big old, yeah. And especially most of it's just the head and trunk of the elephant, which could be considered football shaped. White and gray foliage. Because the trees, some of the trees didn't have leaves and stuff. And the reason the trees don't have leaves is because of the pine beetles. It killed the trees. And another reason some trees don't have leaves and stuff, and they mentioned a body of water too. And that's where Earthquake Lake has the trees with no leaves sticking out of the water, And so, she's probably a lot of people don't, they aren't able to make the connection to tie this to that and see logic in anything. They like to ignore people, and when you ignore people, your wisdom goes out the frickin' window. There was some quotes, or I made a meme about it. Yeah, knowledge speaks, but wisdom listens. We know too much to listen to him. that means if they can say, well, I don't need to listen to him to gain any wisdom. They're wrong, because wisdom is gained from listening to all people, not excluding people and stuff. Except for Jimmy Fast because of his foul mouth. And fake name. White and gray, the white and gray foliage. Yeah, that's why. And darkness and water. So it's maybe a place. If you look up the meaning of a karst, that's where water has penetrated the rock and it runs through the rock and comes out the cliff. There'd be water coming out of the cliff, out of underground waterways and stuff, and one of the things where warm water's hole is 1,000 feet down at the bottom of the hot spring. And I get to that because now I just finished up the location part they went through, right? And then the second segment, they were the target was where warm water's halt, but they didn't know that all they get is a number, and they got to go through some channeling their mind or whatever to focus on, and the one got there with cold mountains. in a cliff, a cone shape with cave. Okay? If you go to Pagosa Hot Springs, they got this old volcano. It's like a little white volcano. It's cone shaped, and the hot water's down in there, right? The hot water comes out of that. It never erupts like Old Faithful or anything, at least not yet. That doesn't mean it can't. But probably a reason it doesn't is there's probably some bigger chambers down below that it comes up from. that they're kind of buffers, and that takes the, and so it just percolates out, bubbles out of the top. So also the cone shapes. I'm sure there's some in Yellowstone that might have a. I don't know if because they're talking about where warm water. And it's this white cone because of all the stuff from deep in the earth and stuff. And she mentioned there was some kind of cave or something. Cold mountains. Then the second girl on where warm water's halt said there's some people on horses, and both of these, the where the treasure is and where warm water's halt, both of them they it seems that the one from kind of matches the other in places, and like they're onto the same proper. They're both on the treasure hunt, but maybe not the warm waters. It might be where the treasure is. It might be the beginning. Might be the end. Since the end is supposed to be similar to the beginning, it might be at both ends. And so she's seen people on horses, and she saw a canyon, or rocks. She drew a canyon in her drawing. Drew a canyon with a river or creek going down it, and drew the horses, and it was like, wow, that's where the horses are in my canyon. and then she mentions that she was seeing something from a helicopter 1,000 feet up, like did Forrest. He'd said he'd fly around looking for stuff underneath the bottom of the cliff and stuff. He'd looking for places where Indians slept or made tools or had camp or whatever. And that's another. I found one of these stone things. It's like it's a square almost thing, and it's built up. It's on blocks, and then there's a big flat stone on top that's concave in the middle, and there was a round stone in the middle that was there grinding, and that stone's still sitting there in the wild. I could show it to people. I got pictures of it. I should probably yeah, I might do that. I might move the stone so it's not so obvious that's so that it's still, yeah, but it's not like this is where it was used. Just to prevent somebody from recognizing it and taking it, I'll get a coordinate for it. It's hard to get coordinates. When you're in a canyon, the GPS doesn't work very good because the canyon walls keep you from seeing the satellites. And this one, the second one also said there was energy from the ground. Well, that's the volcanic energy that heats the water. Hey, Maria, the waterfalls coming out of the cliff. It's dry. Oh, I was at the place I went searching. I had to climb up there to get to the upper part of the fall, and I went in there, and you could climb inside and there's water coming down inside the rocks, and the water's coming, and I went and looked in there, and I had to. I gotta go up there again. It'd be nice to have somebody go up there with, because some of it's a little, a little. Your feet are unstable, you know, and if one person broke a leg or something, it might not. I got a signal, but yeah, it'd be nice to have somebody around to make go get help if somebody gets if one gets hurt, the other can go get help. Nobody understands Jack. Oh, and then the third one on where warm waters halt, she said she felt an upward motion. Well, where does that water comes up out of the ground? Okay, and where is it? It halts at the bottom. Upward motion from where, so it's coming up, or even if you're at the surface, that's coming up at you. But where is it coming from? A rainbow has two ends. A hot spring has two ends. It has the cold end and it has the hot end. Okay. And then she said she's seen something red. Might be like a roof of a barn or a roof of a building, or that's what I'm thinking. Something red, probably the roof of a building. What do you see out in the wild that's red? Red mountain, maybe. And this is a third girl still on where warm waters halt. She was the one with the free peep show. Well, water really deep, 2,000 feet. She said, and what's Pagosa Hot Springs has been measured. They only had 1,000 feet measuring strength. And they used all their line. They couldn't go deeper, but she sees it as 2,000 feet deep. That's pretty good for remote view. 2,000. Boy, and how did she know that they ran out of string, or ran out of line to measure the depth of Pagosa Springs? And it's in the Guinness Book of World Records for the deepest hot spring in the world. And it's deeper than all of them at Yellowstone. And so here you got somebody that's a psychic that says, it's 2,000 feet. Well, that's double what they were able to measure. They ran out of line. It could have kept going, and that's pretty cool. And she says that it's like shallow and goes deep. So that would mean the shallow pools, the hot spring pools that you can go sit in, they're shallow, but it goes deep. It comes out of the ground from way down deep, where warm waters halt. That can be Yellowstone, but to go 2,000 feet deep, you're gonna have to go. To go 1,000 feet deep, you got to come. There's nothing in Yellowstone 1,000 feet deep. Okay, and then the fourth girl, who's she was the Camilla. She had I thought the best. It's like, oh man, this stuff all matches. Steep peaks and water, high altitude, smells of. She could smell the forest and nature and whatever. Some body of water. Some of them they draw this big. It's like, well, yeah, There's a body of water. I worked there last 2 years ago. Um, it's between mountains. What's between mountains? There's a canyon, right? Um, and this ground is soft or gritty. Um, she thought sand or something. Well, there's a lot of loose, gravelly rock. It's a little bigger than sand, some of it, but there is some sand, and there's lots of dead uh, trees, foliage on whatever is nice and soft, and only two. Maria. Hey, Jason. Hey, Bill, good to see you. Never seem to catch your streams. Hey, Frizzle Fry. Yeah, and Glenna. And Selena, Huli, and Scott. That's it. Wow. Caught up, I think. Waterfalls. Yeah. So, and she said there were trees without leaves. Well, that again is, either Earthquake Lake, the trees are in the water with no leaves, or the all the trees here. There's trees here with no leaves because the beetles killed them. Hey, Jason, and Jason. This is the last channel for me to unsubscribe. Just can't do it yet. You haven't given up on the treasure hunt yet, Jason? I'm the closest. I don't know what happened to that other page. Is it still there? The one that Ben Washington had? Let's see if it's on Facebook still. It was a Fenn, Forrest Fenn. Treasure hunt. I think that Forrest Fenn's treasure hunt, right? I ain't seen things posted from a lot of Facebook. Here we got a thing so everybody can, and you'll get notifications, and then they say, well, no, you can have notifications 10%. And now they're like, oh, we'll let you see 2% of what your friends are saying, and they try and pick your friends and stuff. And I go over to Gab. I haven't not there. There's nobody on there though. I'm not giving up the chase. It just going on my way. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. This that remote viewing thing that was pretty good, and I suggested that they. Okay, well, you did one on where warm waters halt and the part of the location of the treasure. Do one on the blaze and Marvel gaze, right? What is Marvel gaze and what is blaze? That should be a good one. Blazes are signs. It's a sign on a tree. It's the speed limit sign. It's your skid marks going off the road into the canyon. That's a blaze. mm. Mm. Yeah. No, and another thing I found was if I can find her again. there was the table with when it was with Bella, and on the table, look on the table. It's in Too Far to Walk, and he's talking about Bella. There, and look at here. No, let me put my finger on it right there. Right there. See the elephant? Yeah, there's an elephant there. The napkin. I think it is a napkin, yeah, something like that. But there's an elephant there, and like, um, why is Thor? Why is Thor? Because that's Poseidon's, yeah, three forked pitchfork or whatever, you know. The little fork thing next to the napkin is like the Poseidon pitchfork, three pronged fork, and that the hand symbol here is I had to give it to her. She was all right, you know. Had to hand it to her. I had to give it to her. It's the same thing as George Washington giving the nation to the people, you know, in the George Washington Stewart portrait. But he wasn't gonna know. And why else is there an elephant on the table? Because she's a Democrat, and so he's got an elephant drawn on the table, right there. AL pain, no gain. Uh, there goes wind generator. Woohoo! What was that, Gus? Wind coming down the valley. Starting to see some puffy clouds. Might do a little exploring here before dark. Want to go down the little gully here and down to the creek down there where the fishermen went. I've been up the other parts of the canyon here. This could be where Forrest parked and went down and went fishing down here. I don't know that. You know, Jack can't. I asked Jack to smell his butt while we were at Famboree, and he chickened out, wouldn't do it, because I wanted to know where his butt's been. I figured Jack can find his hiding place. Magnetic universe. Yeah, state are you in? I'm in Colorado. About 35, 40 miles from New Mexico. As the crow flies. Oh, sunshine. You see it get brighter? The sun come out from behind the clouds. By the time I finished breakfast, it was raining. It wasn't thunder and stuff, but it was a good heavy rain. There was rain yesterday, all afternoon. Thunder and lightning. Thunder was like 1 minute long thunder. Weather in Colorado beats the Texas. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, when that storm, it was like 1:30 in the, or 1:12 in the afternoon, and it was 53 degrees outside. It's 59 now. It got up to 62. So yeah, I had a high of 62, but I got it at 68 inside, and I got the door open. Yeah, 68 here, or inside. 59 outside. And I did my B12 shot. Have to remember to do this, it's like, maybe I got to set up alarm. I had things set up on my phone, and then you get another phone, and the new phone doesn't remember what the old phone had, and you do it over and over, and you get tired of doing it over and over again. Ends of my fingers are tingling and stuff. But another thing, is that I got a um, Hashimoto's. That's my thyroid autoimmune thing that attacks my immune system. Thinks my thyroid's a foreign body and is trying to, eating it away. I got like my thyroid's about a quarter the size of most people's thyroids, and so I got that Hashimoto's, and they have lupus. That's another autoimmune thing where your immune system just generally attacks your own body. Just it attacks your own cells and stuff. I'm pretty sure I got another one that eats at your nerves, because that's why my fingertips are starting to feel, same thing as the neuropathy in my feet started 20 years ago. And we don't know, it's idiopathic. That means your pathologist is an idiot. So your doctor is your pathologist. And if they say that it's idiopathic, they're calling themselves an idiot. So I got the Hashimoto's and I got pernicious anemia. And that means that there's enzymes you need so your small intestine will absorb vitamin B12, and I have another autoimmune thing, another antibody that eats all those enzymes. My number was supposed to be like less than 1, and my number was 1,400 for that. So I definitely have that, and that's why I have to stick my vitamin B12 in my leg. And then I got the other thing about pernicious anemia that I'm injecting my B12 for, I'm watching Antiques Roadshow. And where did you acquire this treasure? Well, from my aunt. She got pernicious anemia and died. It's like, well, gee, man, I got pernicious and I got 3 other things, for, and I'm not dead yet, but just the pernicious anemia can kill you. In other words, And then I got the polycythemia vera, the blood cancer, and I go and get blood taken once a month. And that can kill you. I got all these things. The spirits up there trying to get my ass, but I keep going. And somebody just shared me an ad that was from. It was an ad about the polycythemia vera, the blood cancer. There's, I guess, some ad that's on TV or on the internet, whatever. But yeah, it's about it. And well, you look fine. I need one of those exoskeletons, then I might be able to move around quickly and stuff. But as soon as I get some good weather here, I'm going to go back over because where I went the other day and searched on Thursday. I searched. I parked. I went in, and there's a cliff there, but there's like ramps that go, and pretty soon you're getting up, you're up on the side of the cliff, and it's just walking. Yeah, it's no for her. I don't need MS2 now. um, um, I was trying to get to the. My doctor was supposed to give me a referral to the neurologist, and never put it in to see about because I get see my hand shaking a little there, uh, and sometimes it's worse, and I take pills for tremors, and even the VA nurse who, oh, he's got tremors, so that's why there's extra spikes and stuff on my EKG, because I'm getting these electric signals that don't belong there or whatever, and and so, well, if I'm getting all that then you better send me a neurologist. You know, what do you want, huh? What do you want? You come in here whining? Did you want something? You got water in your bowl, and you got food in your bowl. What? Well, he wants me. He's just like freaking Lassie, man. uh. What we got, Jack? What's going on? What? Is there something over there? You see a bear or something? Huh? What is it? Huh? You're crazy. See, it's all wet, mud. Blue up there. See, it's looking better. And my awning's screwed up. My roof is got problems. I gotta put a thing up there and tie that down. That road, I want to go up that road and see where it's washed out. That's got to be cool. But I'm going to go over here. You good, Jack? Huh? He's trying to tie me up. So yeah, I want to hike down there. Don't bark. Don't make noise. Oh. He runs around me and gets his dang tether around my legs. Hang on, Jack. Wraps it around the steps. Wraps it around my legs. There, see? Now you can come out here. Huh. Pretty boy. What you doing, Jack? Huh? You're crazy. Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. But look how beautiful it just turned out here. You can tell yeah, it's getting turned into a nice day. What is it? The end of the day? It was 5 o'clock or so. But yeah, maybe I'll put my holster on and go walk up that trail there with Jack. Let me see. And what's everybody saying here? Timmy fell in the well. Timmy did? Oh, that's good. I know it needs to fall in a well. Yeah. Now my neuropathy of my fingers and hand, feet and whatever is from the blood, the polycythemia vera. You drink. Yeah, ain't posting nothing on that page for a while. Okay. Well, did I talk about what I was going to talk about? And we're at about an hour. I've been doing my art and stuff. I keep taking pictures of the new stuff I find, and I got a bunch from my search the other day. I'm finding more ancient stuff and taking pictures of that. That's treasure. It's probably Forrest Fenn's treasure. The trove he wanted us to find. They've got like 50,000 pictures and hiccups. Jack gets hiccups a lot too. So, okay. My computer's been very good. Yeah, balance the load. All right. Well, I kind of covered my notes. See, I had notes. Yeah, but that wasn't a bad video. I'd like to see him do another video on some of the other parts of the poem. The what is with marvel gaze, or what is the blaze? The blaze. If you've been wise and found the blaze, or just the blaze, and marvel gaze. What are those meanings? And I'm pretty sure the blaze is a rock. It'll be a structure. It's a rock, some kind of structure or something. Okay. Well, yeah, have a good day. Probably take Jack for a walk up that trail. My throat's, I got a cough again. So I'm going to cut it right now. I'm going to drink some tea and get another hot cup and see ya. See ya, Marie.